Okay, so welcome everyone who may be going to view this session or who is going to join us. My name is Anthea Alexander, and with me is my co-host, Sanjivana.
Hello.
So, what we chose to discuss, our topic that we are starting with is about living consciously or mindfully or with intention in the 21st century, modern world, fast-paced world, 2024, whatever you might like to call it. And this is a topic that is dear to my heart because I have insights about it quite regularly, and it's something that I reflect on a lot. So I thought that it was a good topic to share with other people, and I'd be very interested to hear what Sanjivana has to say about this topic. And also anybody else who cares to share their insights with us. So I'll just share a little bit about myself. So I'm Anthea. I live in Melbourne, Australia, and I work as a wellness coach, helping people with things like energy, weight loss, weight gain, weight maintenance. And this is work that I feel very fulfilled with. And I've always been interested in healing and health and spirituality as well.
Mhm.
And this is basically a role that I really, really enjoy. So I'll hand it over to Sanjivana now, and I'd love to hear his introduction and then about the topic.
Okay. Thank you so much, Anthea. So Anthea is
Welcome.
our host in the Australian region. So I met her online, and such a wonderful person. And she's into so many humanitarian work, helping people to heal. So we started this program as an open space and for people to join. And this is like a free space, non-judgmental free space where people can come and join. And regardless, like in the ancient times, no, the travelers would meet in some destination when they take a break or for the night, and they could freely discuss. But now we don't see that there are so many differentiations, and people are even arguing with each other or going to even bigger extremes. But now we want a like a turning back point where we all can do that and we can all live in harmony and peace, and not only that, to help each other, no, so anybody can join. And don't worry if it's very personal or if they don't like to it to be recorded, we never will share that, and we'll not even record that. And if you want, you can switch off your camera and even join these sessions or like discussions. So and anybody who's free, because once there was like a in a family domestic violence situation, and there were sometimes like people in suicidal situations, so they could just come or like connect and say without even showing themselves, and then people there, and we will be trying to invite even other coaches, no, and we will definitely share all our experiences. And this is one person said don't call it free, say it like another coach he said like say it's complimentary. It is, and then another word I found, because somebody asked like free, then it must be something here. What is going on? So finally, because this lady was asking, "What is the price? What is the price? What is the price?" No. So then this person finally had to say it's priceless. So we are offering all like yeah decades of our journey and experiences, and how we help other people for you in a very complimentary way and priceless way. So please make best use of it. And just a brief introduction. I'm Sanjeevana. Many people call me Sanji. It's easier to say. And yeah, like I'm a meditation teacher. I was a monk for a very long time, and I was meditating. And about 10 years, I was in the forest also. Uh, so I met many people on the way, and these methods, surely, like Anthea also surely knows, uh, these are very helpful for ourselves as well. And surely I'll ask Anthea about her journey in a little while, and I'll also try to share a little bit if you're interested. So I think I spoke to her, but her journey is also very amazing, and she's helping a lot of people. So, meditation teacher, we do like counseling therapy in a more spiritual uh, direction, and then even mentoring, life coaching, working for charities. We do a lot of charity work, and then even suicidal prevention, trauma recovery, rehabilitation, sober therapy, rebuilding lives. So those kind of lot of work is involved. Even in all sessions, we try to bring them all those benefits also for a student or a client, and that also goes again for charity work mostly. So yeah, and yeah, anybody can even contact us individually also. Uh, so yeah, I would like to hand it over to Anthea, and yeah, we'll talk about the topic also, which is a very interesting topic. So I think it's a very vital thing, and since it's still 2024, right? So we still have time. So it's not, some people say it's the end, so we should focus on the, yeah, what is now fixes the future, not the future fixes us, right? So we should fix now. Okay, the past, actually it's gone, but we can learn things from the past, but not to have grudges and no hold on to things that are heavy and sinking you down. But we can learn it and lose it as floats and or stepping stones, and we can go to the future. So I'll hand it over to our host, Anthea, and I would love to listen to your journey, and we'll talk about the topic also for sure. Huh?
Okay, so I just picked up on what Sanji shared. So this is a sacred and safe space for sharing. So I really want to, I guess, share the importance of that it's a sacred and safe space, and that we can hold space for you, and we're here for you. That's the whole purpose of the event.
Mhm.
So a bit more about me. So I'm 52 years of age. I've lived my whole life in Australia, but I have travelled overseas to a number of different countries and to Europe, to the Middle East, to Indonesia. I've spent quite a lot of time in Indonesia,
Mhm.
and I love traveling very, very much. I love meeting new people, and I love hearing people's stories.
Ah.
And I always feel like I learn from other people's stories. And it
Mhm.
reminds me that I'm not alone, because sometimes we can get caught up in our own thoughts and our own heads,
Sure.
and we feel like we're alone, but we're not. We're all connected with each other,
Mhm.
and we can remind each other about about this connection, and and remind each other about practices or ways, that methods that help us in our lives.
Mhm.
Like Sanji just shared about not dwelling on the future too much, learning from the future for sure, but not getting stuck in the future. And as he said, it's about now. It's still in 2024. Yes, it can feel like it's a very busy time of year. I know that I feel that as well. Uh, and people are very much in Australia getting ready for Christmas, for the holidays, for the end of the year, and doing a lot of preparation. It's much busier in the shops and all those sorts of things. However, we still are in December, and every day is a new day for us. What else about my journey can I share with you? I was married for 17 years. I got married quite early, and had a wonderful marriage. Unfortunately, well, it's the way life goes. My husband had cancer, which he was able to get over. So he was in remission from his cancer. However, along the way, he developed depression. And as a result of his depression, he actually ended up taking his own life. And I feel that it's very interesting that I have connected with Sanji and Sanji has connected with me. It seems random, but I don't think it's random at all. And that his work is around suicide prevention, because my husband, late husband, took his life in 2013, and it's something that I struggle with every day. However, it is something that's dear to my heart, and if there's anybody that I can help in that area, I would love to be able to help them. So it's quite fascinating that Sanji does work in this area as well. In terms of my journey as well, when I was about 34, I got very sick. I think it was caused by being burnt out and anxious in a job, and I pushed myself too hard. So my whole body, my whole being said, stop, Anthea, you need to realign your life. We're going to put you on a different pathway. And so I had to stop and resign from my work, basically reevaluated my life and decided that I wanted to do something in the healing space. Mm-hmm. And I have also done a lot of study in natural medicine, and that's basically took up the wellness coaching work that I now do. And I've also done some work as an emotional wellbeing mentor. I did that work for about 18 months during the pandemic for something more to do. And so during that time that I did start hosting some meditation sessions twice a week for a while. And then over the past perhaps 3 years, I feel like I've been focusing more on earthly, practical issues, getting my life sorted out from a practical point of view. But now I have the space to really focus my energy and my time and love into more meditation. So I'm hosting meditation sessions again, which I'm loving. I'm doing a bit of healing work with a client who reached out to me. And this amazing opportunity for these sessions has come up as well. So I feel like I believe in God, is guiding me in that direction.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would you like to share a bit more about the topic, Sanji?
Yeah, sure. So the topic, how to be conscious in 2024, right? Yeah. So consciousness, or like being aware and awake, it's a key factor. In ancient wisdom, it is said it is like the foot of a mighty tusker. The footprint of a mighty tusker. And the big tuskers, right? In the safaris and all, no? In Africa and all the big ones, like with the big tusk and massive, right? And their footprint is like huge, 1.5 foot or something, no? And within that print, you can place even the mighty lion's footprint, or even a human's footprint, or a tiny bird's footprint, or a bunny, or any deer, or any innocent animal, even, no? So within a consciousness, or like consciousness also has a very big meaning. We call vijnana, like our mind also has consciousness, or being so. But being conscious, like you're aware when awake, in the so knowing the reality, it goes a long way in many directions. But if you gather it as mindfulness, like the mighty Tusker's footprint, it all comes into there. So if we can be within the radius of mindfulness or consciousness, or conscious for that matter, if whether it's a child or adult or anybody, even people going through difficult situations, even like addictions, or even habitual patterns that cannot be like easily taken away, or like they don't feel comfortable with it, say addiction, no? There are some people, they say, I have porn addiction, no, which is true. And they know like drug addiction. So then if you start building the mindfulness within them, they start becoming aware, because sometimes these things make them deluded also. And not only that, uh, they forget everything, no? And they are in some other, they think which is not real, right? And it's based on something else. And some these things are also very crude things. And even those are actors or actresses, or these are like very dangerous substances, right? That kill people, or people are killed for even preparation, all this trafficking and all this stuff, right? So it's a so getting addicted to one of those things, uh, the worst scenario a person can be in from the very beginning, no, until you are addicted. So if we get make the awareness and the consciousness accordingly, or mindfulness, then people realize. For example, somebody is addicted to smoking. If you say you have to stop it, you have to stop it, they don't like it. It becomes a problem for them. Like, who are you to tell? Oh, you're not my mother or father, no? Or like, even if you are their coach or like therapist, but some people you feel the resistance, right? They want to, but their addiction is more, the desire is more, right? So then you have to let them buy them, but not in a big way, but let them feel, like let them get to know, okay, this is damaging you. For example, if you are a football coach or something, and one child or a player is addicted to smoking, then if you say you have to stop smoking, otherwise you will be out of the team and all these things. But when you let them play around, then this person may be like weak, or like getting like very tired easily. Then you let them, after that, oh coach, I'm like really tired, no, then you slowly bring the thing, like, okay, that that's what smoking does, no. Then later you can slowly bring. That's why all this time I'm telling you, like, why not do something else, or like something better, more healthier, no, eat something, or why don't you quit this? So you slowly bring it around. Yeah, consciousness, and later we can even discuss. Actually, consciousness is everything, how we get to know from the eye, ear, nose, tongue, uh, body, and even the mind itself. Some people say here, some people tradition say here, some say here. So anyhow, we get to know. So yeah, please, I would love to know your insights about this topic, Anthea.
Sure. So, when I proposed the topic to you, Sanji, I had a few ideas about about different topics, but I was keen to, I was very excited about getting our event organised. So I suggested this topic and I thought, are we going to be able to continue to talk about this every week? And the more I think about it, the more levels of consciousness, living consciously, there are. There's so many levels of it.
Mhm.
One thing I would like to talk a little bit about, to touch a little bit about, is self-awareness. So being aware of our emotions, being aware of how we're feeling, what we're thinking. And this is internal work that I've been doing over the past perhaps 5 years or so, more consciously.
Mhm.
It is something that I have also been aware of for some years, but I've really been working on it because I had an experience of a lot of grief. My mother passed away, my husband passed away, and my dad passed away, and a number of friends, all within quite a short amount of time. And it really, particularly when my mother passed away, she was my best friend. I'd cared for her for 4 years as her primary carer. And after she had passed away, she'd been sick, very sick for about a year. Um, there were a lot of legal issues, difficulties that I needed to deal with that I didn't really want to deal with, but I step by step, I went through them. And after that time, I was very numb. So I think I was almost exhausted of feeling so much, and I found that I couldn't cry. I felt like I was crying on the inside with sadness, but I couldn't physically cry and release the feelings. So I was very, very grateful to connect with a beautiful Indonesian lady who I still do work with. We do a prayer circle every week, and she helps me a lot. But we did quite intensive healing work for about 12 months, and she was able to help me to face my feelings and to sit with my feelings and gradually be okay with feeling them even more. So those sorts of feelings, fear, anxiety, grief, sadness, loss, they're not pleasant to feel, but they're the range of human emotions. And because I was feeling so numb, I was probably trying to avoid feeling those emotions. I'm thinking negative, but they're not negative. They're part of the range of emotion.
Mhm.
However, if we stop ourselves from feeling emotions full stop across the board, then we miss out on joy and love and happiness, excitement, and beautiful other emotions. So yeah, so that is the first thing that has really come to mind for me in terms of this topic about self-awareness and being more self-aware. And I would also like to share that I believe that meditation helps with this because we can sit quietly and we can tune into our emotions if we wish to, tune into our thoughts, and we can do it in a way that feels safe and doesn't feel confrontational. I think that's all I really feel like sharing at the moment, feel guided to share at the moment. Would you like to share anything more about the topic at the moment, Sanji?
Yeah. So let's then focus on the emotional side, like you meant, because it's a vast topic, right? So we can go to so many aspects and we can do even many sessions or programs or events like this. So yeah, emotionally, yeah, there are even ancient techniques and all, even based on that. For there's things called Chittanupassana. Chittanupassana means like regarding the mind states, but even in a normal, like not, there are higher mind states, like very concentrated mind state. They are also considered, but for example, like a lustful mind, angry mind, uh, a mind with jealousy, uh, mind with remorse. So these are also considered. So there's a specific. So the practitioner is asked to witness. Okay, because many sometimes people are, we ourselves maybe at some point were in denial, right? When you say like, "Why are you angry?" Like you become more angry and you say, "I'm not angry." No, then no, it's like, come on, no, you are already angry, right? So so it I also have done it myself, and then at some point I will be honest, no? So and then we are in denial, no? Like we say, no, I'm not a jealous person. But even if you see, like when you as a kid, or like you don't have to compare or bring another person into the picture. You just have to think like, oh, I don't have it. You see something on TV or some outside or car, or I don't know, whichever thing you like, and or some food for that matter. Or you see it on the TV and you just think, oh, I don't have, and you feel a bit sad or like down. Huh? So this that is also a state of jealousy. Because the ancient ones categorized it so well, and they showed because of these reasons this happens. Uh, so then later there are stages of meditation. You build the base, and there are like for ingredients. So if you need to bake a cake, if I'm saying, hey, Anthea, I'm baking a cake while I'm talking, then at least if you saw the ingredients in front of me, some no flour, butter, eggs, and those kind of things like which are needed. Any kind of cake for that. So vegetarian, non-vegetarian, anything. So then at least if you see the ingredients, you can say, okay, this guy will make it maybe after our discussion. But if I'm saying like, oh, I'm preparing it, and but don't you see? Only wise people see. No, it doesn't work like that, right? So we are we have to learn about these things, and then we make the base, and then for deeper like vipassana or insights, we have to get these as our ingredients. Then only we work it, and then see like the arising and the perishing and these kind of factors, or uh, uh, or you go deeper, 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 and so even towards enlightenment. So. In a way, like we have to recognize this and understand, and okay, the good things are always good, right? But we have to face and then understand the negatives, because those are the places and that are the most hurtful also. You want to touch them, it's like a wound sometimes, or even bigger, right? Like a tumor, or like it has like gone all through, no? And you have to do some serious operation maybe. But at some point, because you cannot just be rubbing some balm or something always on top, and there's a point we should understand, and we start doing that operation. That is the real healing process. Before that, you can be in denial, or just like, but it is said, like in ancient wisdom also, say you have very bad something like pus and everything, and it's rotting inside, and then you just scratch from outside because of the temporary scratching. Yeah, and it's actually gross, and because of that the sensations change, and you see sometimes with lines on hands also. Uh, because what happens is like you forget, or this overpowers that sensation. Likewise, we do like very temporary things. Some people go to like alcohol, or even violence, no, or they do like something like that becomes overwhelming. Eh? Or some people just go maybe like even things like intimacy or something, no? Even in a how to say unethical way. So just to like have some overwhelming way, just to forget. But at some point they have to face. So I think yeah, it's perfect. You bring this up, and that will be a huge part in their life journey, yeah, or healing journey, or even for success, or any destination they want to seek in life, right? Say a person in the corporate society, they have some inner trauma, and they so if something, even a small thing happens, they get triggered, so they cannot accomplish their goals, right? What they are seeking, or their targets, or what they are trying to do, no? Even in life, or have a good family life, because always that thing will be there like a ghost, no? And it will pop up from time to time, no? Yeah, please, yeah, you also. Uh, I would love to hear your ideas and suggestions about this, or insights.
So thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your knowledge and your experience. I really value what you're sharing, and I'm learning a great deal from
Oh,
you.
yeah, no?
We're
Yeah,
both learning.
yeah,
We're
yeah.
both learning. So what I'm understanding is when you were talking about meditation and tuning into our different states, it's about building a foundation first so we can gradually move to different levels or graduate to different levels. Like in school, we go from class to class. So we in like different countries, they start children at in school at different ages, but basically in Australia, it's around about, I think it's a little bit younger now. So around about 3, 4, 5, children start, playing with learning how to play and socialize with other children. Then they'll start learning how to write and how to do maths and things like that. So that's really what meditation's all about, I think, from what you're saying. It's about building from scratch and learning the basics and having the ingredients and then building. And I also, what else was there that I really was relating to that you were saying? Just slipped my mind at the moment, but I'll come back to it. I was thinking about, yes, when you were talking about temporary fixes, and sometimes they're called Band-Aids. So you just put a Band-Aid on thing or a bandage and cover it up and hope. But we have to look at the cause of why there's that wound or why there's that trigger that might make us very angry or very fearful or anxious. And that can involve, you talked about, I can't remember exactly what you said, but a ghost. Yes, like a ghost coming back to haunt you all the time. And so those triggers, we need to look at that trauma and look at the shadows, because life and the world and the way that the universe works and our planet, it's not all light, it's light and dark. So we need to look at both the light and the dark. And and I also wanted to touch a little bit more about causes. So causes of physical illnesses can be emotional. So, for example, for me, I was very anxious and burnt out in my job, and this manifested itself in a physical nerve pain. And before then, I hadn't really given that much thought to, what's going on internally can actually cause external physical issues. And that's another topic that's really fascinating.
We should write them down, right? No,
And start writing down the topics. So, yeah. That's what I wanted to share just for the moment. Thank you.
That's so true. Like I remember one of our teachers said, like if the hard base or the place where people consider everything is building up, it's like the powerhouse or some from hydroelectricity or nuclear or anyway, and then the brain is like the where distribution center, and then these places are like houses or vital organs, no. So what happens, he just asked like, uh, okay, like different countries have different voltages according to there, but usually 110 or 220 to 30 to 40, it's usually like in those radiuses, no. So say 84,000 or 33,000 just pops up, generates. So it has nowhere else to go. It has to go through our body. So what happens? So later we can discuss, even the breath shows this indication, and this works like meters. So you know how your mind works, even if you not yet went deep in. From the breath itself, you can, it's like meters in a car. Like when it accelerates, the meters also go, the speeds it shows. And before they had something like, there was like a meter that showed the inner working of the, so it was like running fast, no, or going fast. But at least now you can see the speedometers, right? But you don't poke your head into the engine and see, right? So even if it's parked, if you step on the accelerator, the meters run, right? Because everything is working inside fast. Huh? So even if it's electric or petrol or anything gas, no. So so that's why people get heart attacks, some eruption of a blood vein. It can turn into not only that, like skin diseases, or even when we are like in pressure conditions, even our breath is even anger. So or some people they throw up, or it is also true, right? Even emotionally, they throw through some emotional thing, or even fear for that matter. No, they throw up. Not only that, they can even defecate. themselves. And surely, like all over the body, they sweat. The bare breath becomes higher, sometimes crying, the tears. So all these things have nowhere else to go rather than the body. And the most dangerous thing is that's why we want to make it settle down through things like meditation or other holistic or any wholesome practices, no? So, like you said, this is like darkness and light. But the best part is, and there, even if you lit a match, the darkness goes away very quickly. But the match is, it cannot sustain for a long time, right? So we need a candle, maybe, or a flashlight, or even a bigger light source that is more sustainable. Then the darkness stays away and very far apart, no? Apart for longer times, and even other people can see with that light. So yeah, surely, like so that's why we have to be very careful also, because that's why people get migraines, headaches, even bodily rashes, or even some people get paralyzed or heart attacks, and some people even like uh, life-ending situations also, because it's high voltage, no, and it has nowhere else to. If it goes out even like that, uh, it's good in a way, but some people keep it in. They have nowhere. Like Sigmund Freud also, he talks a lot of about this, right? The psychiatrist Sigmund Freud, and he says, like, he gives a lot of example, bit towards like the sexual side also. But anyhow, there are like life cases, and all. For example, there are also sister. It's not any bad thing. Oh, I'm just telling. It was a case studied by him, and I don't know, for some reason the sister had some bad thoughts about her own brother, which is kind of very odd, no? So in a very sexual way, it seems, yeah. So she cannot tell it even to anybody, no, definitely not the parents. Or, and then she because of this she became paralyzed, like downward, and she was on crutches. And somehow other she met Sigmund Freud, and she was, or maybe he was working with her, and he brought it up or found it and brought it up. And soon as she put it out, she could just walk away without the crutches even. But for many years she was on crutches. So see, like even something that is out of nowhere can appear in the mind and even disrupt lives for years on. It's a bit awkward also, but think like even trauma or something that can happen in, no, or some fear, or you fall down and then there's like a shock, or you see something. And nowadays we see a lot of things like this, right? On internet, wars, no, all these things. And think of the people who go through this, how it must be, right? To recover process. Right. We can just watch and then say like, oh my goodness, like it's so sad, or like, but for the people who are really there, the survivors, my goodness, how much time and how much it will take to recover, right? Children. Yeah. Yeah, please continue.
Uh, I'm really enjoying listening to you speak, and it's very thought provoking. And so, a couple of things have come up for me. An author, a New Age author, Louise Hay. I don't know whether you know of her work or not, but she's done a lot of work on the relationship between emotions and what presents in our physical bodies. And some of the work she's written quite a few books. Heal Your Body is one of them,
Mhm.
and there's another smaller book. I can't think of the title just at the moment, but it has a lot of affirmations which relate to different conditions of the body. So, for example, if it's something to do with our legs, and I thought of it when you were talking about the lady who was paralyzed. She was basically paralyzed by with shame, feeling shameful about and not being able to share it with anybody about these feelings she had for her brother. And then once she shared the feelings, she was able to walk again. And like I guess it's different in different languages, but definitely in English, there's a lot of sayings that we come up with, like, I can't stand it. I can't stand something. Mean literally can mean that you have something wrong with your legs because you can't stand a situation,
Okay,
or I
okay.
can't face something. Like when I was in my job and I was feeling burnt out and anxious, I didn't know what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
I manifested pain in my face. I couldn't face something. So that's another way of looking at those sorts of conditions. I was also thinking of you, yeah, what you were saying about people who are in war-torn countries experiencing terrible trauma, mind-blowing trauma that I can't even imagine because I haven't been in that situation. Um, and for us, as you say, we can choose to engage in watching it, or we can not. We can turn off the radio or the TV or not look at social media. But for those people, they can't do that. And they are living with that trauma for whatever period of time, and then potentially carrying it for the rest of their lives, depending on what sort of situation that they're in. So, yeah, and I was thinking about like post-traumatic stress disorder, and um, I've I've heard from an amazing teacher of mine that what can happen is that, and this is similar to the case that you gave of the example of the lady who had feelings for her brother that she couldn't understand, and she couldn't speak to anybody about it. And so the teacher that explained that with post-traumatic stress disorder, what can happen is that we go through an experience, and at the time we can't share it with anybody for whatever reason. There might not be anybody who we can share it with, or it might feel shameful. We don't feel right in sharing it. And then that can stay as a trauma in our bodies. But if we're able to express it later to somebody in a safe space and share the experience, that may be enough to help us to feel, to release it,
Yeah, yeah.
let it go.
In ancient times, Anthea, they used to call Arya Virechana. Virechana means like in Ayurveda, surely you know, no, like natural medicines and all. They first flush the system, or so they use things like Uddang Virechana, Adho Virechana, and all, like from the upper side and the below side, just to flush the system. So it says like likewise, Virechana means like you put it out. Arya means like in a noble way. So the people like who are having something inside, if at some moment if they put it out, like putting it out, uh, so the toxins also are released. Like it goes out. So true what you say. So ancient people knew about these things so much. So we think about counseling and psychology nowadays, and it is in an advanced stage. But actually, this it's like history repeating itself, but in a different maybe terminology. But ancient people actually they knew these kind of things. So they used to call it Arya Virechana. So it's like putting it out or letting it go, which is true because you hold on to, like it's like a spark or like a how to say a red hot piece of coal on your in your hands. No, it's burning. It's like destroying. No, it's killing you. And then if you let go at some point, okay, it's already could be burnt or scarred, but you can let it and it will start healing. No, as long as you hold the red hot piece of coal, it will continuously burn. No, yeah, yeah, so true. Yeah, so yeah, I think we can even talk about these disorders, these kind of topics also, and how ancient ones or from different viewpoints, or like how can they be how to say a face tone, and about the fears also, two more. So what we see on social media, if you're meditating, you will clearly notice this, how it affects, especially very intense situations and all. I remember we were in a very strong retreat that went for like 3 years actually. So continuous, and we were practicing very hard. More than 12 hours per day was a good day for us, and it went much more. So no, but the concentration and everything, you don't feel hungry or sleepy, and you eat one meal, but that also, when you are there, you are not like suffocate, like how to say, suffering or anything. You just stay, and then you think, okay, like I had to go and like for 2 hours and then come back and no and clean up, wait till it digests. So maybe I just sit that wait that part also. So sometimes after 2 days or 3 days you go for a meal. So then you have to just stick a label or piece of paper, on your window to your friends to know, like, I'm not dead, I'm alive, don't worry. So other they come, what, why are you sick or something? So then, but when you see, there were some things happening in our country back then. So I was not like even looking, I was just seeing because on the top of the phone, and when a message pops up, there's like a alert, right? So I just scrolled it down, not social media, none of that. But I had this, how do you say, keyboard app, which typed in our language also, but it used to put news flashes. But I didn't know because I knew first, like when I was seeing these things, and I could not, when it was very gross in the mind. Huh? It's like when you start cleaning your suit or something, say your white suit is what you're wearing now, and then if there's a slight stain, you start seeing it. But before it was, if it was very dirty and all, like the rag cloth, in a, or in a, how to say, mechanic shop or someplace like that. Even if you wipe the grease, it doesn't make much difference. But soon as you start cleaning it, even like I remember when you were using like nice suits and all. No, you just you're very you ladies also, no, for sure. And then more clear it is, like you even a slight stain you start seeing. So then I was just looking it down, and this had put some, but I was not even reading intentionally. But the mind even had caught that even in meditation, I felt my mind more like very heavy. I didn't know what it was. What to see, so I removed the app at that time. So because without even knowing, without even reading, the mind had just caught those, like the titles or the headings, and that also makes them find here. And when we go to sleep, the other thing is there are different levels, and people talk about this, but it is the same kind of process that happens without the filtration. So the control, you cannot say control, but at least our, how to say, conscious attention. Now, when we are awake, at least, oh, I don't want to see that, we can switch it off. But when we are into sleep, what happens is you start, that's why we see like even nightmares. So this starts working like in sleep mode. Then you don't have any authority or like, or even it's difficult to say authority also, no? Yeah, in the long run, there is no such thing also. But at least conscious attention, that also goes out of the window. And then that's why you are stuck with like nightmares or you see the same scenarios. But the crazy thing is some people actually enjoy that also. So that's why people watch horror movies, no? And some even it goes dark and dark also. That I think we should not even like touch it. It's very maybe just a glimpse of it at some point. But yeah. But even like people watching action movies, because they feel the thrill of it, no, and adrenaline and all. And some people, even I also used to watch before at midnight, and then the horror movies, and you get like at the scares. But sometimes you see them like you are in the picture, and then that thing what was coming after you in the night, no? Before you know, I was just watching maybe on the monitor. But the worst part is when you go to sleep, you are there also, like you are also part of the movie. So that means like it works in our sleep also, no? So there are so many aspects and so many ways we can see these things, understand these things, and this is about us, right? Right? So why not, if people are interested in moon, Mars, all these things, why not we understand about ourselves and most of all to bring happiness and peace to ourselves, no? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Please, Santia. Sorry.
That's fascinating what you're talking about.
Oh, sorry, huh?
I actually have some questions for you.
Oh, yeah.
I'll have to bring some paper and a pen to our next session so I can write down
No,
things
no,
I
no.
know.
About all of us, eh? No, no, we all discuss in a way. It's a lifelong learning journey. I'm just sharing. This is nothing of mine. Our teachers and what we experience through meditation. And I was like a dumb kid, so I could not remember. But when you do it practically, as a monk, also they say you have to study, 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 and there's so much to study, And then, but when you practice and do it practically, my goodness, you don't forget. That's the wonder of it. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, there are so many things we don't know and learn. So yeah, surely it's we all learn from each other, no?
Most definitely, Sanji. So one of the questions for you is that when you were talking about nightmares, I was thinking about, again, that's like a form of release, isn't it? It's like letting go of something, of our mind, our heart, our spirit, our body, trying to make sense of things and getting rid of it. Is that how you see nightmares?
Oh, like it's a bit tricky, Anthea, because it says in ancient times, if there was an anthill, anthill, right? Termite hill or anthill, there are big ones, right? In your countries also for sure, right? In
Sure.
Africa, these places. Say, it said like it's like an anthill that burns in daytime. It's just example, So and it smokes at nighttime. So the anthill means like because of these cells and all, like the termites or the ants come and they put little bits and pieces and make an anthill, right? So our cells or particles or molecules get together and there's a constructive process that makes the body momentarily as well as in a lifespan, no? Yeah. But the other thing is like in daytime we are running here and there, we have all these things to think or job or anything. So it's like on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. But in night time, what happens is we because we are sleeping, but still the ashes are there, the coals are there, but maybe not the flames. Okay, when morning starts, it will start flaming again, and you also put more fuel to, no? And then start or lit it up again.
Yeah.
You did this, that, run here and there, all these things. I'm not telling it in a negative way, just to show the scenario of what happens. But the other thing is like in night time, it's still smoking. The red hot charcoals and all are still there. Or even if you remove the charcoal and wood, like the baking ovens or bread and all, the heat is even there. That also can burn. So the danger is, so it is said, ancient, like really like saints, enlightened beings, they did not sleep like us. Uh, they used to give the body a rest, but they were fully awake. But if this happened to modern day times, they would run to a doctor or a psychologist and say, I have insomnia, or I cannot sleep. No, we think it's like a horrific thing. But sometimes we are fully rested. We don't know because we have this idea, no? So we'll talk about these topics about sleep and all this. It's very interesting, right? One step at a time, like little baby steps, no? So we people also invited to put all their ideas, views, all these things, positive, negative, anything, and so in a way, it's kind of dangerous because now when we are awake, if something negative happens or we are seeing or listening, we can avoid it or walk away at least or switch it off. But in sleep, it's like you have to really watch the movie, and you are just like you cannot do something about it. So that's why we try to bring meditation into sleep time also. Like so, you try to like you're washing your clothes and you put some detergent, and then it starts working, no? So likewise, you try to put a sense of meditation, and then without putting all this stuff. That's why they say, like don't watch your mobile devices maybe 1 hour or something, or like make the surroundings like that, or just wind down slowly. So you see the pattern. No, even modern days they say. So, so ancient ones, they even some people who practice very hard. We also are doing and used to do also. So it's like you go to bed with a meditation, and then in any kind of scenario, it's possible, because nobody knows, no, and you're not announcing it to the world, and you slowly wake up, and as if it was already, it was continuing all the way. You quickly bring it maybe to the breath or loving kindness or something. So it seems it's connected, and you try to take it all through the day also. So we'll slowly come to these topics. It's very interesting, and it doesn't happen overnight because we'll talk about this. So I think it will really refer or like connect with the topic you brought, like being conscious in 2024 or onwards even now. So we can talk, but in a way, for now, it is a bit of a dangerous thing because the body or the mind can always release. Always it releases, even through the breath. Uh, like you, okay, say like you just sit, you get a long breath. Sometimes you don't know even why, but it's coming later. You can understand through the practice of meditation. They explain, but you didn't even have to take like a big breath and but you feel low, you feel like not happy and joyous or like jumping up, no. But some people like, oh, my child, or something you can even see it's related, and then the thought that arises very next to it. Uh, Sometimes you don't know, it comes like from the depths of things, but it's harmful actually. More the breath is settling, sorry, and gets subtle, that is that meters are working slower, which is good, like the heartbeat, no, all these things. But let's see. Yeah, slowly we'll talk about this. Very, I think there's plenty of topics and plenty of things to discuss, right?
I agree very
Uh,
much.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so we've actually talked for an hour and I haven't
Okay,
even time. So amazing
yeah,
how
I also felt it.
it feels like we started talking about 2 minutes ago. Mm,
I think I also think like, oh, like we can just go on like this for like hours and hours, maybe because.
I agree with you. I could just keep listening to you and keep talking about things for hours and hours.
So yeah, for now, today, but maybe like we wrap it up, and then we'll be sharing this video with in many places, and you are always welcome to join these events. And surely, if you need, you can contact Anthea. We'll be putting her contacts, or if you like, you can contact me also, and you can give your feedbacks or topics you like, anything, because it is a free space, or free means like without any judge, but we don't talk like things like politics and offensive things or anything. We really try our very best to not take sides or do those kind of things. But if it's like something really that matters, we can talk about it, sorry, in an open way, uh, that is not offensive to anybody, uh, and then maybe from different angles, no, and to see how it's what's the matter. But if but we main idea is to help people and make lives more happier, more peaceful, and for unity and harmony with all, no, even nature and everywhere. So
Definitely.
even we can even invite people, no, other coaches, or even in Australia, the region, if somebody is interested of any wholesome practice or method or any help in the society, if they are also interested, please contact us, and we'll be happy to invite you. Okay, so thank you so much. So I'll hand it over to our host to conclude our event for today, but there will be many more to come. And it was a wonderful time, Anthea. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome, Sanji. And I want to really express my gratitude to you for reaching out to me and inviting me to share in this way. I feel very, very honoured and grateful. So thank you so much. As I said, the hour has just flown past, and I was getting a little bit concerned about whether I might be able to find enough things to say, but it has just flowed beautifully. So thank you so much. And I look forward to future events. And I really hope that my intention is that this recording will be able to help people. And as Sanji has shared so well, please feel free to share any topics you might like us to discuss. Please feel free to join us. And I really hope that it's been of benefit to anyone who watches this recording. So thank you so much for sharing.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Being with us. Thank you. Thank you, Sanji.
See you soon.
See you soon. Bye.